This conference will now be recorded. This conference
Hi,
will now be recorded.
this is Vijay from Career IT. Let us wait for 2 more minutes, guys. Still, people are joining. We can start.
We'll get
This
started.
conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, this is a, Java full stack developer program. Yeah, this course is very intensive towards the Java practical examples and real time scenarios will be given. And we'll take a project and how we are going to, we'll take during this course, we'll take a lot of projects and we'll understand the requirements and we'll convert into the design, and then we develop the application. And during the development, what are the industry follows the best practices, the standards we'll follow, and we'll deploy our application into the various other cloud services. So I'll be discussing in details what are the things we'll cover and where we are going to host our applications. So these things I'll explain in details. Yeah. Now here, this course, it's a 75 hours course, and every module you will be evaluated. Like, no, it's not, we will be correcting those quizzes. Like, no, it's a self evaluation. So these quizzes will be provided once we complete that the particular module. Like, no, each concept level you will be given the quizzes. So it will help you in understanding the concept better. And next one is you will be given the assignments, and the total there are 15 assignments, and these 15 assignments will be shared with you, and you will be doing the 5 projects. It can be a simple project to a complex project. Yeah, so the initially the projects will start very simple. Like, you will be developing the applications by using the command line tools. Then you will be introduced to the advanced concepts that you are going to develop by using the advanced concepts. Relatively complex applications you will be developing, that we will give the project requirement spec, and you are going to implement the projects. And the next one is the main things. What are the topics we will be covering in this entire course, so the 75 hours course? We will be starting with the core Java, where you will be introduced to the what is a programming, and so how to write a programs. Then we'll get a familiar with the development environment tools. So the here in core Java, most of the times we'll be using the IDE Eclipse. Or, like, if you have a experience and you are used to some other IDE, you guys can use what are your personal preferred IDE. Then during this learning the core Java, where you will be introduced to the JUnit, the most of the developers they hate to write the JUnit test cases, but we will start learning the writing the JUnit test cases the day one, so that your code will be tested by the another code. Yeah, so the best practices will follow that. And then we'll learn about the SQL and NoSQL databases, where you will be introduced to the SQL and the NoSQL database. The most widely used database will use the MongoDB. So once we get familiar with that, then by connecting your Java applications with the databases, how you can develop the application. We'll develop the one applications by using the core Java and the database. So these two concepts will ensure that you are familiar and you are well versed with the core concepts. Once you learn core concepts, then we'll start with the UI, where HTML, CSS will be introduced. Then we learn the JavaScript. So then we move on to the Angular. So the Angular is another framework, which is a UI framework. So which internally uses the Angular projects. Typically, it will be developed by using the TypeScript. Yeah, if some of the jargons, if you are not familiar, don't worry. So we will be learning in detail about those concepts. Then we start with the Spring framework, where we use the Spring framework and we learn the Spring framework, and what are the things we are going to learn. I'll show you that. So this is the main concepts you will learn theoretically, and you will be uh, solving the lot of assignments, and finally you will develop the application. Now, what is a module one? When you take the module one, where it covers the programming fundamentals, where you get familiar with the JIT, like a Gradle and IDEs. So this is a module one where you learn these three things. JIT is a version controlling system where you need to store your source code into the some repositories. Like no, so when you are working in a team, the team is sitting in across the globe, so they should have the accessibility of the source code. Yeah, so to collaboratively work on the projects, so we'll use the one of the version control system JIT will use the day one, like when we start the session, we will start using the JIT, and like how effectively you can use that, I'll be explaining that. Then you'll use the build tool Gradle, yeah, Maven or Gradle. So we'll go with the Gradle, and you'll get familiar with the IDE. The IDE is here. I'm going to use the Eclipse, yeah. And core Java, it starts with the fundamentals of the Java programming, and then you learn about the control statements, exceptions, collections, thread, reflections. Once you done with that, then we move to the database concepts, and we'll develop the one application. And the module two, where you'll be introduced to the UI components, so HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and the Bootstrap. Then we develop a one application. So just I want to show you a simple demo. What kind of applications we may develop, or we are going to develop. You may have the doubt. So once you complete this component, this module, the module two, so you got familiar with the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, Bootstrap, and Ajax. By using all these concepts, you will develop a sample app example. This is you take it as a UI example, UI project, where you are developing a single page with the responsive web page. And when you select a particular country, so yeah, let's take India, and I want to take the news about the health. So this is a news. Just I'm going to get the India news, India related news about the health. And if I'm clicking on the sports, I'm going to get the information about the sports. This is the information we are getting. And at the same time, when you change the United States, and you just select the health and our business. So behind the scenes, it is making a API call. It's making a API call. Then it is going to get the data, and we are displaying in the UI pages. Yeah. So how to consume the RESTful web services? Like what are the RESTful web services are offered by the some other site? So how we are going to consume those RESTful web services, and how will you build this application? We'll learn once we complete this module. Yeah. So here this module, it uses the almost all the concepts of the whatever the UI concepts we used. All the concepts are used. Like when I select this sports, yeah, we can see what's happening, and behind the scenes how the request is made and what are the requests it has made. So network, yeah, let me take this submit. Fine. Okay, so just I'm checking that, like what are the APIs it is calling, and we can see that what's happening behind the screen. Yeah. Okay, so this is I think there is a network. slow. Yeah. Can you hear me, guys? Is it my voice is clear? Can someone respond, please?
Yeah. Yes, Lakshman.
Okay, fine. Yeah, somewhat this is not loading. Yeah, this is a API used, like, no, this is some news API that has been integrated with this. Yeah. Yeah, fine. Now I can select this, the India, then I'm selecting the sports, and when I submit this, yeah, we get the news of the Indian news and the United News. Just I'm going to select the health. When I select the health, the top 10 news in US state, US, like, you'll be getting the top 10 news, and we are displaying here. So this is like a project, like, how you are going to consume the web services and how will you build this application. So we'll be learning. So once we complete this module. Now, next one is the module 3, where you will be introduced to the Angular framework. The most of them these days, industry is using the frameworks, so that it will solve the lot of your DOM manipulations and the HTTP calls. And when you want to build a single page applications, so the industry is moving towards the Angular or React or Vue.js. These are the most widely used frameworks in industry. And when it comes to the micro front end, where the people are started using the all the frameworks, and they are using the micro front end architecture, and where UI components also will be developed by using the like microservices. So I'm using heavy jargons. That's fine if you are not getting familiar with that. So here in this course, we are going to learn about the Angular framework, and the fundamentals of the Angular, and what is Angular, and the most of the most useful components to develop the application, whatever it is required. You will be introduced in Angular, and then finally we'll develop the another application. Yeah. The next one is the module 4, where this is a place where you will be introduced to the Spring framework. And Spring is it has got a lot of modules, and you can expect from the Spring framework, and Spring Boot will be starting with that, and the core concepts, AOP, MVC, data, the rest and security, and to publish the REST documentation, we will use the Swagger, and FTL, that's another free market template language, and email. So these are the things we use very often in application. Whenever you are building the applications, the concepts which are required, you'll be introduced to all the modules. And then finally, we'll develop the application 4. So application 4, how what kind of application we'll develop, I'll show you the small demo of that application. So this is by using the Spring framework and Angular, the Spring framework. So far, whatever we learn by using all these concepts, this application is built. This application is built. And how this application is built, I'll show you the next example. Like, this is architecture we are going to follow. Here we'll take the presentation layer, and business layer, and data access layer, and the presentation layer, where we will be using the Angular, and Angular pages will be talking to your server application. And the server applications, there are some APIs which needs to be secured. Some of the APIs we should leave it as a open. And here we'll write a lot of controllers and service. Then this is a part where you'll write your business logic, and this is a place where to interact with your database. You will be using the repositories. You will be using this at a high level. This is the architecture we are going to follow to develop this application. Yeah, what is this application? Yeah, so IPL 2020 statistics, this is application, and where you have a entire IPL bidding information, yeah, unfortunately, because of coronavirus, the IPL has been pushed to the another month. Yeah, yeah. So here, like this has got the information about the IPL players information, which are the teams are playing, who are the players, who are the coaches. So this entire information, it is made it available to you the documentation, and at the same time, oh sorry, it is made it available to you in the form of a JSON. And this JSON data you will be taking and you will read the requirement spec, and finally you are going to build this application. Yeah, and the UI screens also will be given to you. Like, what are the teams are the IPL 2020 they are playing. IPL is the Indian Premium League where every year these matches will be conducted, especially those who are cricket fans. Yeah, they will love it. This. Yeah. Suppose if I'm taking here, let me take it as a CSK, and when I select the CSK, the who are the players of the CSK, this is going to get me the list of players. And at the same time you will see that how many bowlers do they have. Like, they have total 9 bowlers and 2 wicket keepers, 8 all-rounders, and 5 batsmen. So to feed this data for this screen, whatever it is required, you will be writing in the service layer. Like, service layer and DAO layer, you'll use it here, and you will make this data available in the form of a web service. The web service, typically the web services will exchange the data in the form of a JSON. JSON is a JavaScript object notation, where to get this player information, now I might have called the one API. Let me show you that what is that API, what it is going to return. Let me change the Punjab, where if you look at this Punjab, this is making these two API calls. This is making I am selecting the RR. You just look at this. When I say that RR, it is making a request. Yeah, this is a URI. We are going to make a request. This is the API they have exposed. And now I'm going to call this. I'm just copying this. Okay. I can see preview headers. Okay, response and this. I'm now able to copy this. So this is a request, it is made. Yeah, I'm selecting this, and I want to show you that if I call the raw request, how the data will be displayed. This is the data. When I make request, this is what data I'm going to get this API. This is the API. When I make a request, I'm getting in this format. But in my UI, what I'm doing here, I'm displaying in the form of a table. I'm displaying in the form of a table. I'm displaying here. Now, when it comes to this data, how you're getting the data format, and I'll show you that as well. When you make a request for this, copy, I'm going to show you this. Or when I take this is what it is giving here. This data you are going to feed to you can look at this. This is a JSON. The count of all-rounders are 6. Count of batsman is 6. Wicket keeper is this, and bowler is this. So this is the API we are going to render by using the Google chart, and we are rendering here. And when I click on this batsman, and who are the batsmen, I want to get that details. These are the batsmen. So when I take the bowlers, who are the bowlers, this is the information. This we call it as a drill down. So whenever I click on that, so it is taking the further info further down, and it's going to get that particular the information about the particular role. So when I select this is going to get the wicket keepers, and the wicket keepers, who are the wicket keepers in that particular team. You'll get that information. And the same time, so we are going to take the team statistics. When I take this team statistics, total there are 8 teams who is a coach and all these things. And here we are writing another API where it will give the team which has spent more money this is information we are going to get it that. And when I click on this, the CSK, they have spent 44% of their amount on the all-rounders. The 44% of money they have spent on the all-rounders, they have spent on that. So this is a way we will develop, once we will develop the application, and at the same time, who is the maximum paid wicket keeper. All this information you'll get it here. Now you may have the lot of doubts. Yeah, really, are we going to build this application? Yes, we are going to build this application. What is the application building? What are the steps you are going to take? And I'll explain you in a couple of minutes. And before that, in a module 4 and where module 5, where you will be introduced to the Jenkins, Sonar, and Mongo Atlas. So Jenkins is a CI and CD tools, yeah, continuation, integration, and development tools. So we use the Jenkins, and we use the Sonar lens, like it is a static code analyzer, where to follow the best standards in the code, we'll run the Sonar lens. You will run it in a Sonar lens, and it will give you the beautiful output. So how many warnings, how many severity of the code, how many code smells. So that information it is going to provide you. And then we use the Heroku. Heroku is a flat service. So where we want to deploy your application, we use the Heroku. So it is Heroku has provided the seamless integration with the GitHub. So if you have pushed your code into the GitHub, you can deploy into the Heroku. So Heroku is it is built on top of the Amazon AWS. They uses the Amazon AWS. They offered it as a separate service. The Heroku is offered it as a separate service, and the PaaS service it is a, yeah. And then there is a Mongo Atlas, which is a cloud DB provider. By using the Mongo Atlas, so we can take the this is also cloud service, and they have hosted the Mongo cluster, and we'll register with them. We'll get a free tier up to 500 MB data, and we will connect our application to the Mongo Atlas, and we will develop the server-side application. Yeah, this is the architecture I explained earlier. So we follow the presentation layer, business layer, and the data access layer, and the deployment. How the deployment architecture? If you look at this, so either we can deploy our UI application either in Firebase or S3. Yeah, if you have some other provider, you can use it that. And the Spring Boot, we are going to deploy the Heroku. That's a server-side application we will be deploying into the Heroku. And the DB service, you are going to use the Mongo Cloud. Now, our entire application will be in the cloud. So during this development, it's not only you will be learning the development and how to deploy your applications, how to build the executables. Those all the things you will be introduced. You will be introduced to all this information, all these things. And now at an high level, this is the architecture of the entire application. So how you are going to divide that? Like this can be developed independently. So again, this application can be developed independently under the Mongo, where you will be writing the lot of queries you will be writing, and the queries, and what are the queries, we may not write it directly on the Mongo shell. Like whenever you want to test that, you may write that. So everything will invoke from the your application. And finally, so this is the development process we will be taking, and development and deployment process we will be taking, and everything will be taken like industry standards, and what are the industry uses, the same standards will be followed. Yeah, the next one is do you have any questions so far? Yeah, anybody has any questions?
Um, Hey
Yeah,
Lakshman,
go
this is
ahead.
Vamsi.
Yeah,
Um,
Vamshi, please.
just one question. I know that we are going to use the cloud-based servers and all for deployment, right? So we
Exactly.
can choose our own clouds provider, correct?
Yes, if you have a Amazon account, you can use the Amazon account. Yeah,
Okay.
AWS
And
you can use it and you can deploy.
Okay, how about, I mean, like, how about the first local deployment instead of the cloud deployment?
Yeah, during the development, we'll use the local deployment. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Suppose like to get the exposure about the production deployment, where we'll use the cloud service.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So, others, do you have any questions? Okay. So this is an overview of the entire the course and like no. So once you are gone through this course and you have completed all the assignments and you have solved all the applications, whatever we are going to assign, it is equal to, we can say that, to 2 years of experience. Yeah. So to get this exposure, at least you need a so 1 to 2 years of experience. Yeah, that's what I can promise you that. Yeah. So there is a star, provided that you have completed all the assignments and provided all the tasks is given to you, and the projects whatever it is assigned to you, you solved all the projects as well. Yeah. The next, how do we get started with this uh, the program, like no. So we, as we discussed, that it will start with the programming fundamentals. Yeah. The programming fundamentals will start how to create a project. From there, we'll start from like no, so from the scratch. So when you are using the Java, when you are working with the Java, we know that Java will be like Java minus version. So this is a version we are going to use, that 1.8. We are going to use it here. The latest version is the 13. Yeah. So we'll be using in this course like Java 8. Java 8 has got this some of the features they have introduced, lambdas and the streams, and then daytime. There are few changes they have made that, and we learn about the Java 8 features as well. Yeah. So then the IDE, as I told, that we'll be using the Eclipse. Okay. So once you install the Java, to ensure that whether Java is installed or not, just we are going to check that Java minus version, and at the same time you can create a simple application so to test that uh, how to work with the or to write your first hello world example. Just I'm going to create a simple example, like if you are not familiar with the installation of the Java, it's a very simple and straightforward. Download from the Oracle website, official site, and once you download, this is going to give you the executable, and we need to register these days with the Oracle website, and it is going to give you the Windows version. It is going to give that, and just you follow the installation wizard, like nothing, you need not to do anything, just follow the installation wizard. Just you click on that and click next, 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 whatever it is asking, just you follow that. And finally your Java also will be added to the your class path. You need not to do any class path settings. Modern operating systems, most of them, they will pick the class path, like no. So they will add it into the environment variables. They are going to add it here. So once you install the Java, then to check that whether Java is installed or not, you type the Java minus version. It will tell you the what is the version of the Java. And to write your first program, yeah, to write your first program, I'm going to create a copy con. In Windows, is to create a file, we'll use the copy con. So I'll say that welcome.java. Let's take it. This is my first Java program. I'm going to write it here. And I'm opening here Notepad. I'll say that, so welcome Java. So this is a Notepad. Just I created a one simple. I'm going to create a one simple program. Public class. My class name is a welcome. And here you will be writing the public static void main, so string dot args. And what are the message we want to print it here? This is what system.out.println. So we'll say that welcome to Java world. Yeah. So this is the name of the class. I have given it as a public class welcome. And here, this is a main method signature in Java. Either you can take the string array, or you can use the dot dot dot. So this is a varchar length variable. And finally, we are going to write the system.out.println, system.out.println, and here we are writing here, welcome to Java world. Welcome to Java world. Will be writing here. Once you have written this program, this is written in a high-level program. We need to compile this program. To compile this program, we have a command called the Java C. Yeah, Java C, which is going to compile your source code. Yeah, and Java is to run your application. Yeah, so first I'm checking that whether Java C and Java is working or not. It is working. To compile this program, Java C welcome.java. When I give this, this is going to compile. There is no compilation error. It is successful. It's compiled. The moment it compiles this program, it is going to generate a dot class file. It's going to generate a dot class file. To execute the dot class file, just we'll use this is a welcome dot class file. It is generated, which contains the bytecode instruction. When I execute this, which is going to print the welcome to Java world. So this will ensure that we are done with the setup and things are working fine. To check that, just have typed the hello world example we typed here. Now, if the same program, if you are doing by using the IDE, so where you are going to create a new project, let me create a new project. Yeah, here we can, like Eclipse installation also, you download the Eclipse. It is going to give you a zip file. Zip file, it is going to give that. No installation, just you extract that zip file and you click on the Eclipse executable. Eclipse executable, you just click on that. That's going to take you to so this is a page, this is a landing page, you can say that. And here it will ask you during the launching of the application. So you need to choose what is a workspace. You choose the workspace directory, and from there onwards, whatever you create the projects, those projects will be stored in that particular directory what you have chosen. Like I am going to select others. Here I'll take the Java project. Yeah, here I'm choosing the Java project, and I'm going to give it as a here. The project name is, I'll write it as a core Java. Here it is automatically picked. What is the version of the Java? It has picked that. Then I'm clicking on the next, and it will be default bin directory. Then you click on the finish. Then it is asking, open the Java perspective. Yeah, you say that yes, you open. Now this is a Java project is created, and to run your Java applications, we require the JRE. It has picked the JRE, and what are the source code you are going to write it here? You will be writing this is a place you are going to write this. Yeah. So to create a source code, I'm going to create a new class in Java. Whatever you are going to write, you write it everything in a class and objects. So this is a package name I am going to follow. Okay, when I take this package name, so com.newbase.cj is a core Java, and here I'm going to say that my submodule name is a demo. So always your package names in the Java reverse of your domain name. So suppose you are working for the newbase.com, it is going to be com.newbase. You are working for the sun, like org.sun. So that's a reverse domain name, and the next followed by your project name, and this is a module name. So this is a meaning of the package names. This is the way we should follow the even package names. Here we are taking the com.newbase.cj.demo, and this is a place where I am going to write the welcome. When I take this welcome, these are my class name. The class names are preferably nouns. Now I'm going to finish this. This is going to create a class. It is going to create, and to add the main method, I'm going to type the main, so which will give the main, and let me increase the font size. It looks very small. Okay, I'll make it as 14. Yeah. So you can close this. Now here we are going to write a main method. So the shortcut to write a main method in Eclipse, just will say that main control space, which will generate that. As out control space, which will generate the system.out.println. What are the message you want to print it here? Welcome. So this is what just I printed the message. And here, whenever you make the compilation errors, it is going to highlight. Suppose if I miss this, it is going to highlight and it will give you the suggestion. Hey, syntax error, you missed the closing of the class body. It is saying that. Now I'm going to close this. I'm going to run this Java application. I'm going to run this. Yeah, when I run this, which will be printing, welcome to Java world, it's going to print it here. This is the way we will write a, we are going to write a, the first Java application. We will start from the very basics, like now until you get familiar with the Java environment and the programming fundamental concepts. So the first 1 week we will be spending on the programming fundamentals. Even though you are familiar with the Java and you know the lot of things in Java, but still it's like you can take it as a refresher and the guys who are aware of that. And we start from the basics, like what is a class and what is a variables and how to declare the data types. Those all fundamentals will be introduced. Let me give you another example. Let me give you another example. I'm going to write a simple class. I'm writing a simple class. This is a class name is, I'm going to write the number util. I'm writing a number util where this is a class I created, number util, and I'm going to write a one simple program, a simple method, public. This is the int biggest, int a comma, int b comma, int biggest of two numbers. And I'm going to write a one more method, int biggest, int a into b into c. Yeah. So this is the algorithms we are going to implement. We are writing a one util class, a math util class. We are going to write it here, where we want to find the biggest of two numbers, biggest of three numbers, biggest of two numbers, and biggest of three numbers. Forget about the programming thing. How do you find the biggest of two numbers? When you take this biggest of two numbers, we have only two numbers. Like let's take this is a number one, this is a number two. So we don't know what is a quantity or value it contains. Now I need to find whether this is a big or this is a big. Which one is which one contains the bigger value? That's what we need to find that. Whenever you are comparing the two quantities, we have a possible options. What are the possible options we have? So either it should be equal, or it should be greater than, it should be a less than, it should be a greater than or equal to, it should be less than or equal to, and there is a not equal to. So this is only when you are comparing the two quantities, we have possible options are both may be same, maybe one is greater than another, another one is greater than less than another, maybe less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or it is not equal to. These operators we call it as the relational operators. The relational operators always it's going to return either true or false. So if I ask the simple question, 5 is greater than 4, yeah, obviously your answer will be yes, it's true. So when you are comparing the two variables, we use these symbols. We are going to use it here. Now I am asking that, like, if it is greater than this, you return this bigger value, otherwise you return the another value. So we need to execute, we need to apply some logic based on some condition. Based on some condition, we need to apply some logic, or we need to take some action. So that's where we'll use the conditional executions, like where you will be, we'll be comparing this. Like generally, if you're writing if A is greater than B, we'll say that big equal to B, sorry, A. If not, else big equal to B. This is what just we'll be writing that. So regardless what programming language you use, and generally if you're writing like a pseudocode, if A is the quantity A is greater than B, the big is A, else big is B. So this is exactly, we are going to write it here. If A is greater than B, we are going to write it here. I'll take here big equal to, I will be declaring the one variable, or directly I can return here, but initially we don't want to make it as a complex. Just we'll declare the int big. I'll take it here, big. So we will be writing here big equal to A, else it would be big equal to B. And finally return. Let me explain you this, how this works. When you are writing a algorithm, uh, if you give the two numbers, which is going, this method is going to give you the bigger number, the biggest number, sorry. So A and B value, if you send me when you are calling this method, if you pass the A and the B values, it is going to compare these two values, and this algorithm is going to return the biggest value among these two numbers. Yeah. So this is a logic you have written. Now we need to find the same logic to find the biggest of three numbers. Int big, I'm going to take it here. I would be saying that if A is greater than B and A is greater than C, we are writing a logic. If A is greater than B and A is greater than C, then the big value is A. If not, A is not greater than B or A is not greater than C, then I am going to write it here. Else if B is greater than C, this condition will not be executed when this is a false. A is no more big. Now I have to check that whether B is greater than C or not. We are going to check that. If B is greater than C, I'm going to write it here big equal to B. And if B is also, this condition also fails, then we have option big equal to C. And finally, I'm going to return big value. I'm going to return here. Now you have implemented the logics. Do you have any questions here so far? Anyone has any questions? Okay, we are good to go. Hello. Yeah, fine. Yes, here int big, we are going to take it here, biggest of three numbers. Now, how do you test this code? The logics you have implemented, and you need to test this application whether it is working or not. We need to test this code. Yeah, Vamshi, do you have any question, Vamshi? Okay. Yeah. To write the test cases, we can do one more thing. Like now, you write a main method here. You are going to write a main method, and then you are going to test this application. So number util. This is a class. I'm going to create an object of this class, number util. Number util. So like no, this is the object I am creating here. Suppose if I want to find the biggest of two numbers, obj dot biggest of, I'm going to take the 10 and 20. I know that what is the biggest value. And same thing, I'm going to test my application, obj dot biggest of 30, 45, and I'm writing the 20. So what is the biggest value? So I'm going to invoke this method, and what are the return value we are going to print that. When I take this example, it is going to print the biggest of these two numbers is a 10, and the biggest of these three numbers is 45. This is a one way of testing the application, but when you are working in a projects, you will not have the main method. Like, no, you will not start from the main method. Your logic needs to be tested by using the frameworks, like, no, the testing frameworks we need to use, and you have to test that. So we'll not write the main method. So we will not use this approach, even though initially when you're finding difficult, that's fine, but you adopt the writing the JUnit test cases. Like, if I'm asking to write the programs, then people generally what they do that, like, no, they will accept the number one, number two, then accept the number three, then you call this method and you're going to find the biggest. You call this method, you find the biggest of three numbers. So which is not required for us. Like, no, we don't write the main method. Instead of, we are going to write the JUnit test cases. How to write the JUnit test cases? Just let me explain you this. I'm going to create a source folder, src test. New source folder. So src. I'm going to create a test package, and I'm creating a new class. This is a class name is, I'm going to follow the com dot. So new base dot cj dot demo dot. I'll take my package name as a test, and I am writing here number util test aspect. That people will take the different names. Now I'm going to write a test cases here. I'm going to write a test case. I'm going to write it here. Yeah. To write the test cases, just I'll show you that new JUnit test case, or you can take the JUnit test case. And here I'm taking my test case name is number util test. Okay. This is asking to add the library. I'm adding, you write add the library. Now this is a place where we are going to write your test case. Like, now here we have written the two methods, biggest of two numbers. I'm going to write a biggest of two numbers. I'm going to write a test case. I'm writing here. The test cases will be annotated with the dot test. Now first one is number util. Number util, you are creating a obj equal to new number util. The class which you are going to test, we are creating the object. Now the next one is int res equal to, I'm going to call the obj dot biggest. You know that if I send the -10 and send the 0, or -10 and -3, if I send that, what is the biggest value you are expecting? So the biggest value, we are expecting it as a -3. -3 is the biggest value. Whether it is returning -3 or not, I'm going to check that. Assert equals, I'm expecting the -3 I'm expecting, but actual result, what is that? We are going to compare that. So assert equals -3 I'm expecting. So this is the result which is written by this method. So I'm going to test my application, my algorithm. So whatever the return value, and whatever I'm expecting value, either both are same or not, we are going to test that. The same thing. We are going to repeat this. Yeah, biggest of two numbers with positive numbers. Okay, I'm going to take the 3 and do this is what here I'm expecting the 10, and whether it's working or not, I want to test this. The same thing you will do for the biggest of three numbers. Okay, you'll be writing the biggest of three numbers. Instead of 2, I'll be taking the 3 positive numbers, and I'm going to take it here. So biggest of 10 comma 3 comma 20, I'm going to pass it here. I'm expecting the result as a 20, and I'll check this whether the expected result it is returning or not. Now I'm going to run this application. when I run this JNU test case, so yeah, it is working fine. There is no problem. So everything is code looks fine and it's working. So instead of writing the main method, we will write a test cases. This is always a good practice. Like, write the test case. Tomorrow, if you're changing the logic, tomorrow I felt that as a elementary, when I'm learning this program I have written, this should have been solved differently. How you can solve this program is, let's look at here. Return A is greater than B. You return A, otherwise you return B. That's it. So this is the one line I have written. Even here also I felt the same thing I should have done. Unnecessarily I'm adding this so much code I'm adding here. So return A is greater than B and A is greater than C. So I want to return A. So else B is greater than C. So I want to return B, otherwise I want to return C. This is the logic I have made the changes. Now after changing this logic, whether it is working or not, we need to test that. Again, you need not to write a main method. Already you have a test cases. If the code passes these test cases, that means the things are working fine. Now I'm going to run this application. The things are working fine. There is no problem. There is no problem. So when you are writing the test cases, and one more thing, we need to ensure that you have covered all the cases. One case A is a big, one case B is a big, one case C is a big. So then only your code coverage will become the 100%. Now in this case, only we tested the one case. Okay, only C is a big. The same thing you want to say, one more test case you are going to write it here, one more test case you are going to write it here. So the first one is, here we are going to take the A is a big, here it is a B is a big, here it is a C is a big. Let's take it here. Now in this case I'm going to take here the value is, I'm taking the 8. Here big I want to make it as a 40, and here I'll take the 50, and I'm going to take the 10, and here 10 to 15 and 20 we are going to. And now I'm going to run test case. Yeah, this is going to fail. Yeah, run JUnit test cases. I'm going to here. When I run this test case, it is failed. In this test case, okay, if you look at this test case, you are expecting the 20, but it was written it as a 10. It was written it as a 10. Where is this test case? You can go here. Now I'm expecting the 10. I'm expecting the 20, but result was 10. Yeah, that's true, because your input was wrong. I'm going to correct it that. Now here also, so here we need to expect the 50 is the biggest value. Yes, we are going to write the here 50. We are going to take the 50, and here in this case the biggest is a 20. And now I'm going to run this example. So when I run this JUnit, this is going to execute that. This is the way we will cover the 100% code coverage. We have to see this, whether when this condition executed, whether it's written A, when this condition fails, whether it is returning the B or it's returning the C. So we have to cover the code, your unit test cases. 100% we need to cover that. Sometimes it may not be possible 100%. At least the industry standard is 80% of your code coverage has to be done when you are developing the application. So these are the best practices we'll follow throughout the course. And another important thing is, last 2 decades, Java was the top language, and most of the enterprise applications. What are the enterprise applications the people are building? They will be using the Java. So Java has got the well-disciplined and the backward compatibility, and it has got the lot of features. And once the Spring framework has come to the market, has entered into the industry, the Java has again it's boomed. Yeah. So the most of the enterprise applications, what are the enterprise applications it's developed? They prefer to use the Java. You can say that now another 10 years, I think Java is going to be the lead programming language in enterprise grade applications. Yeah. And Android developers who are planning to go to Android developer, or who are Selenium test, yeah, the Java, they will be using that. Okay. Yeah, somebody has question. Yeah, go ahead, please. Yeah, Ocean. Yeah, so please, if you have a question, yeah, yeah. the job opportunities as a full stack developers, you have a really especially now I'm seeing in Indian market with the 2 years experienced developers these days, they are getting the around 10 to 12 lakhs. That's a minimum packages. There are cases I have seen these days, like they're getting the 15 lakhs also with the 3 years experience in Indian market. Yeah. So Java has got the huge requirements, and it has got the the some of the applications which is built in other languages, they are migrating to the Java because it follows the best standards. And another beautiful thing about the Java is the backward compatibility. Yeah, whenever the new version, if your old version application without any modifications, you can run it in the newer version of that. That's one of the flexibility and one of the pain points. Whenever you move from one version to another version, the most of the programming languages, they may remove the methods, or they may just they may add it new, and the old methods they will not support. But Java, as a Java, I have seen last 12 years. So most of the times, whenever you are moving from one version to another version, there will be small changes. Yeah, we need to enhance that, but it will not be a big rewriting of entire your application. So that is the advantage of that, and people wants to be safer side. So the larger applications are industry grade, the production grade applications. When you are enterprise production grade applications, when you're building, they would prefer the Java. And when you take that any framework, say their MuleSoft or Salesforce, and those all guys, their servers will be running the Java servers, or some of the components of their applications are developed in Java. Yeah. So Java can be, you can say that another 10 more years, it is going to be the top language. Yeah. So that is a huge scope you have in Java side. Yeah. So this is what I have planned for the demo session. Every day it will be a completely hands-on session, and we'll not be using the boring PPTs. Yeah. So I'll be using most of the times the Eclipse I'll be using throughout the session. Yeah. Before we wind up the session, do you have any questions, or if you have any clarification? Yeah, I'll take another 5 more minutes to
Hey,
answer your questions. Yeah,
hey
please go ahead.
Lakshman, this is Venkat. So
Yeah,
it's a very good start actually today you made. So
oh,
basically I'm looking just a little bit in depth, whatever you tell, I understand a little bit because I'm just doing the automation parts. But if you give me the little bit in depth, source, you mentioned some packages in source, some packages in test, and some packages elements. Why you made that differences? What is the advantage?
yeah,
So
uh,
even when you
yeah,
mentioned some variables int a, int b, so how do you call that one? So how do we pass the values over there? How do we get it from text to source?
okay.
So those little bit yeah, uh, detailed
Yeah,
one.
Venkat,
So I'm not yet good at on the coding side. Just basically, I don't know if the others what they are, how they are good on the coding.
no problem, no problem. Yeah, so this is a demo to show you how the Java is used. This
Yeah.
is I've taken, but our classes will start from the how to declare a variables, and what is a variables. The basic concepts it will be introduced to Venkat. That will be promised. Yeah.
Yeah, some images will definitely help us, in the image view first, and then with the
Yeah.
code later. Yeah, that works for
Sure,
us.
sure, sure.
Just I'm talking about my perspective only.
Yeah, sure. That will be taken care. You
Yes.
believe me, like we'll start from the how to write a simple example where you'll take two variables and adding those two variables. That's a level we'll go. Yeah,
Thank you.
welcome. So others, do you have any questions?
Yeah, same. I'm in the same boat, Lakshman. Actually, I
Sure.
don't know that. That's why.
Okay, sure, Arita. That concern will be definitely, it will taken care. So just I want to give you the overview on how the development and testing will happen in the applications. To get a glimpse of that, I have taken this example, and we'll start the classes with very basics. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Sir, from when you are going to start the classes, sir?
From tomorrow?
From tomorrow, same timing from 8 a.m., sir?
No, the timings will be 6 to 7 morning.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
6
For
to
how
7.
many days it will be? For how
This will
many days it will be continuing, sir?
it's a 75 hours. Like no, so initially we'll start with the 1 hour. When the complexity, when we get the ones familiar with that, we may increase by another 30 minutes, 1.5 hour it may go.
Okay, sir. Do we need to pay any
75.
fees for this, sir?
That you like now our team will discuss with you. They will call and they'll speak with about that commercial parts. Yeah.
Sure, sure.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Welcome. Yeah. So yeah, others, do you have any questions so that I can answer? Otherwise, yeah, I'm done with this demonstration. I hope I gave like no 1 hour. I gave you something like no you can like the intention of this workshop, the program overview, and like no what are the things you can expect from this program and how this program will be executed. Yeah. Thank you guys.
But yes, a quick
Yeah. Go
question,
ahead.
Lakshman. Do you have
Yeah,
any like
Venkat.
breaks or continuous 7 days a week you're going to do that one?
No, 6 days.
Monday to Saturday?
Yeah, Monday to Saturday.
Okay, that works.
Okay, fine. So Sunday, yeah, generally I don't do Sunday. Okay, Sunday we'll take a break. Yeah, 1 day.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.